Hello and welcome to another episode on AutoCAD. This podcast or recording is going to be a continuation of the previous one where we did some practicing on line, polyline, circle, arc, and today we're also going to do some more information on trim, extend, and maybe even hatching if we have time. Okay? So we saw how to do line, L, in the previous class. Okay. You can put lengths if you want. So like this one, it's 250. From here to here is 250. So each one of these is 50. These boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 50 times 5, 250. We can do that again from here, 250. Okay, and then we hit spacebar to end the command. What I did actually is I went down to the bottom and I wanted to go through, well, this turns on and off the grid, but I'm looking for what we call snaps. Okay, and these snaps help us find points more easily, so we'll go over these as well. End point is the end of a line here, and here is an end point. So let me escape from that. Okay, so if I make a line and I click here, this is nearest, the one that looks like an hourglass. But if you get close to the end, you get a box. That is the end point. Here is the L-looking shape, that's perpendicular. Triangle is midpoint. Okay. If you hold down the Shift button and right-click, you can say which one you want to show. So if I only want to see the end point temporarily, that doesn't turn off the snaps at the bottom, that just limits your selection right now. So see, I don't get the others, I don't get the perpendicular or the midpoint, I only get the endpoints. So if you're doing something like that and you need a more specific one, you can hit hold down Shift and right click, and you can quickly go to the part that is more of what your need is. Let's say I want perpendicular. Okay. Now that's a 90 degree on both sides. Okay. So you have two choices when it comes to this. You can turn all these off and just use Shift and right click. Or if you think that these are useful to be on all the time, it's up to you. Okay, just letting you know those are there, and they're snaps, object snaps. See, object snaps. Okay, so let's do some playing around with lines. Okay, so endpoint to endpoint to endpoint to midpoint, and so on. Okay. Also, I turned on assisting, polar assists. So as you see, it snaps to different degrees. So this is 0 degree, 8, 12, 20. It automatically helps me by snapping to these different points. Okay, move it out. And it'll automatically go to 90, 180, 270. Okay. The nice thing, when these things are on, all you have to do is just start typing the distance, if you know how much it is. Okay. Go down. And now I have made a box. Okay. Spacebar, when you click it, will automatically restart an old command, or it will end a current command, just so you know. Alright, so that's enough playing around with line. How about let's play around a little bit with polyline. Polyline will do all the same things that a line does, it just keeps them all connected. So let's, because they're all connected, you can make closed shapes. Let's see how to do that. So let's do 200, 200, 200. Okay, if you look down here, you have this command called closed, or close. So if you hit C and space, it will automatically go to that first point and close it. The benefit about that is if you select the item and type prop, which is the short abbreviation for properties, okay, these are the properties of that shape. And you see up here it says it's a polyline. If you select a different shape or a different item, it'll say line and it'll give you the properties. This is the start point. This point here is going to be y 800, x 500. There's no height, so that's 0. When we get into 3D drawing, you'll have a height. And this is the end point. See, it's only 250 different from the start point because you moved it over 250. But what I wanted to show you was here on this box that we made, because we closed it, we can actually get an area, okay, and also the total length. So from starting point here going all the way around, the total length is 800 because we made it 200, 200, 200, 200. Okay, and also in here you can make changes to layer, to line type, okay, and we'll get into those in later videos. But I wanted to show you the properties pane because it's a very useful thing to have and it will help you solve a lot of problems quickly in the future. Okay. Sorry about that. So let's go back and play around with polyline. So here, like we were showing down here, we were having these are different commands you can do while using polyline. So I'm going to use arc. Okay, so now you see you have an arc. Okay, I can just select it right here. Okay. Now I made a nice little circle. You can use it also to make different shapes. Too big. Can't do it on a straight line or it goes insane. So we won't do that. So we'll hit space, exit the command. But you can see this is all now one shape. It's one object. You can go ahead and you can switch them around and make them more to what you wanted them to be. The way you would have wanted to do that instead of having it come out both ways is you would have made a second line here. Let me just delete that and show you better. Okay. So we have these points because I turned on the grid and the O snaps, so it makes this a lot easier to make. So let's go polyline. This is the end point. We'll go arc. And we'll pick down here second point. So A and then S. Okay. So I put in the second point. Click. And then you put in S again for second point. And then S again for second point. and then you can either hit escape or space. And then go back here and just delete these assistive lines that we had created. Okay, what you would like to do is we might go in the future and do more on these different things down here, but for now that should be useful enough. The length is basically you type in the, like how we did 200 and 250 a few moments ago. Same thing, makes no difference. You can either tell it in advance that that is a line length, or you can just type it in and hope that it picks the right information. So let's do circle. We'll do shift, E for endpoint. Okay. You can use a circle like that. So this is the center point, and this here would be the radius. Okay. And if you go to prop, you can also get the different details and information, the properties of this circle. Okay. You can even go in here and change the color if you want. Okay. Right now I prefer to just keep it as white, just because everything else is white right now. When we go into making layers, we'll assign a color per layer. I don't like messing around with the color here. I usually assign a color to a layer, and so if that is on a particular layer, you'll have that particular color. And I'll explain that to you in the future what that means exactly. Okay. Shift, midpoint. See the triangle pops up. Okay. So here we can just write the diameter that we want. Okay. And since this is 50, 50, and this is also the midpoint, so that's 125. So if we write 125, we'll automatically go to the end. Okay, so you can write in the radius, or you can snap it to the location that you want. Okay, and let's play around with arc. So if you type ARC, get arc. Okay. Okay, so this is the explanation of it. So the first point is the beginning. The second point is the midpoint, like we were doing with polyline. And the third point is the end. Okay. So actually what we did before over there would be the same. We don't have to use construction assistances. Okay, space to start the command again. Okay. So basically arc is just a 3-point, nothing special about it. It does the same thing that the polyline does, but a one-time shot. You can't do more than one at a time. So each one will be a separate piece. Okay? So I promised we were going to do a little bit also on trim and extend. Okay? That's why I made these down here. Okay? So this is one line crossing 3 lines. And this is a good way to show you how trim works. If you type TR, it's the abbreviation for trim. You don't have to write TRIM, just TR is enough. Okay, and these are like explanations. Most commands, if you point at it, you'll get an explanation of how that command works, basically. Okay, so if you ever want more explanation on something, if you find it in the ribbon, up here, this is the ribbon, you can easily just point at it, or if you hit F1, you can also search it in the AutoCAD help window. It's still loading. Anyways, there should be a search area over here, and you can write the word trim, and you'll get, here we go. I'm guessing my internet connection is very slow, that's why. but yeah, here. So if you write grm, oops, okay, so this is the trim command, and it will go into more and more detail for you. And also it will go into like how it relates to some other commands and different viewpoints, like if you're using 3D. We're not using 3D right now, but if we did, we can look at things from different angles. See, if we look at it front, all our lines are not flat, but if we go to the top, because they have no Z dimension. Okay, so let's do trim really quick before I run out of time. Okay, select all the ones that are going to be affected, and I can select these, all of them, and it'll automatically trim based off of this line here. Okay, we can also, when we do trim, because there's this line and this line, if we click on this, it will, oh sorry, space, it'll automatically erase it. So now we have a line that goes through, but not in the middle here. Okay. Extend works on the same kind of principle. If we select all of these and hit space, see, it will give you a little preview of what will happen. If I click on that, it will automatically. I can select all of these and just do one. Okay, and it doesn't have to be these. I can select all of these and hit extend. It'll actually, see, because they're on the same line, it doesn't show. But if I delete these, you see it did connect with this line. And it doesn't have to be with just lines. If you use trim here, okay, and hit space, it gives you a preview. That's where the part that will be cut is. It works on circles as well. It will break the circle and make it into an arc. So I can do this as much as I want. Oops. Okay. Make different shapes based off of trims. We can also use extend, not just on lines, so EX for extend. See, maybe we want to connect this line here. Space, and connect. Select all, extend, and it will automatically extend. I can extend it again and again because we had selected the whole circle. Okay, so that's the basics of how to use those different commands. Okay, I hope to see you in the next episode. Thank you.